So one of the things to keep in mind, though, since this program was implemented, which was back in October, when it was approved, October of 2010, and then pretty much rolled out through WeBank as one of the third-party certifiers in 2011, there have been some changes that they have made, and they've been recent. They actually made them last year. One of the updates, and this is something to keep in mind, is the fact that you were able to self-certify. Now you cannot. You actually have to be certified. If you were self-certified and currently under contract, one of the things that you will have is until March with that self-certification, or if you're under a contract, it'll be to the term of that contract that you're able to hold that certification. But then you would then have to go through what the new certification process, either through SBA or one of the third-party certifiers. So that's something, to keep in mind, whether you're WOSB or EDWOSB certifications. So here you're seeing that you upload those in certified.sba.gov. That's only going to be available through March 31st of 2021. And the other thing to keep in mind, is that if you are going to compete on the federal contracts, you're now for set-aside programs now, this is just for set-asides for the WOSB, then you are going to need to go ahead and take action in the beta.certify.sba.gov. That's the link that you will be able to do. Also, keep in mind there are some requirements regarding set-aside. What does that mean if you are interested in becoming a supplier of the federal government? So that means that with a set-aside, there usually has to be one or more other WBE in that same space that is available to bid. And then of course, there's also sole sourcing that could take place, where you are the only one that may be awarded that contract. Now, keep in mind the sourcing manager, when they do something like that, they are mainly looking at a reasonable expectation to contract, with you, and looking at the offers that may be available in order to award it at a fair price. So those are the things you have to keep in mind. And then one of the things I want to share with you is what's important to understand are the NAIC codes. So when applying, please make sure that you meet the requirements as regards to NAIC codes. There's over 2,000 NAIC codes, North American industry codes. And for the economically disadvantaged women-owned small business, there are 80 that are applied to that. And then for WOSB, it's 363. Now, when I say 363, meaning under the 1,000 NAIC codes, and it could be 1,204, so it's, specifically to what your NAIC code is, that's what I would look at to make sure that your company or the products or services that you provide meet that criteria, utilizing those NAIC codes. One of the other changes that has taken place too, before your revenues had to be aggregated over 3 years. Now it's 5 years that they have to be aggregated over. And also there has to be evidence of stock ownership. So looking at a stock ledger. One of the things we are still waiting on from SBA, although they have rolled out the new guidelines and rules, is more details about this and how we are to administer all of this.